All right, everyone. As promised, we're going to be doing some music topics as well here on Ghost Archives. And what better moment than to start today? Because I learned, as well as the rest of the world learned, that Kendrick Lamar is going to be headlining next year's Super Bowl. February 2025 will be headlined for the first time in history a solo rap artist, and that's going to be Kendrick Lamar. So, yesterday, right? Yesterday was Sunday, the start of the regular football season, and Kendrick Lamar, the NFL, posted a video. If you haven't seen it yet, basically, Kendrick Lamar is standing on a football field next to one of those football throwing machines, and behind him there's a big American flag. You can see right there, and he's running routes with somebody, and he's basically saying, you know, you only got one opportunity to win the championship. There's no round twos. He's also saying stuff like, "I can't wait to see you." He's saying stuff like, you know, it's a very dope marketing tactic. How it was a very bright colored video, and of course the little subliminal diss that you got in there talking about the round two. If you don't know what he's referring to when it comes to round two, uh, Drake has been cryptically posting about a round two, or we will win game two, on his Instagram. And this is following, the string of events this summer where, I mean, we can all probably agree that Kendrick Lamar destroyed Drake in a rap feud, battle, whatever you guys want to call it. We don't even have to go over all the other songs with Not Like Us. Not Like Us took over the summer. I live in a very I live in an area that has a lot of clubs around. And let's just say all I hear all night is certified lover boy, certified what? Okay, so I'm like, all right, cool. So this song is just taking over the whole summer. And now we're getting into the fall. We had the pop out. If you guys didn't see the pop out, that was a live Amazon stream where Kendrick Lamar and a lot of other West Coast artists came out and performed at in Inglewood, like in the LA. I believe it's the Staples Center or the Crypto Arena or something like that. But yeah, he did that. Broke records all across the world, streaming on Amazon. And now we are here, start of the football season. And to kick off our football season, we have been given some information on what to expect for this year's, or well, next year's halftime show. And we're going to have Kendrick Lamar. We're going to have Kendrick Lamar going to be there. There are a lot of people upset that Kendrick Lamar is going to be performing at the Super Bowl. And that is because the Super Bowl is going to be hosted in New Orleans. And if you haven't seen previous interviews with the legend Lil Wayne, he said that it's almost mandatory, or it's like a must happen that he, comes out at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Well, here we have it. Today we have Kendrick Lamar headlining the Super Bowl. And we have Nicki Minaj responding. Birdman is responding. Everyone's upset. Now, I don't think people are too upset at Kendrick Lamar. They're actually more upset at Jay-Z. Now, if you want to understand why they're upset at Jay-Z, Jay-Z back in 2021 became the head, the person in charge, let's just call it, I don't know people's titles, but he became the person in charge of the halftime show at the Super Bowl. So that's when we got, I believe it was Shakira and J-Lo. We got, was it Justin Timberlake? We got Beyonce. We had Rihanna last year. And now we have Kendrick Lamar. Oh, yeah, and then 2 years ago, we had the Dr. Dre with 50, Eminem, Snoop, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar as well. So this is going to be his second time touching a Super Bowl stage. People are upset at Jay-Z because they feel like he's hating on Lil Wayne. Like, why wouldn't he give Lil Wayne the opportunity to headline the Super Bowl? So with that being said, you got Birdman extremely upset. You got Nicki Minaj extremely upset. There's multiple people like Lil Wayne's engineer tweeted out that he was devastated and destroyed that he didn't get into the Super Bowl halftime show. You have, I mean, obviously Drake is probably punching the air somewhere. And yeah, man, and I think that this is just a great opportunity for Kendrick Lamar. Me personally, I don't think there's a couple of things about the Lil Wayne thing. In my personal opinion, I feel like people saying that something is owed to somebody, especially something as big as the Super Bowl, big as the Super Bowl. It's just it that we did in the studio. Nah. Something as big as the Super Bowl and these type of opportunities to be just expected to be given to somebody, I think that the fact that people had an expectation for Lil Wayne to perform at the Super Bowl, I think they already had, like they kind of already ruined their own experience. I don't feel like if it wasn't, honestly, me personally, I don't feel like if they didn't choose Kendrick Lamar for this Super Bowl, they probably wouldn't have still chose Lil Wayne. And that's going to get into my next reason. Okay, and this I believe this is from what Jay-Z said about choosing Kendrick Lamar for the Super Bowl. And I believe, I'm not going to read it quote for quote, but basically what he's saying is Kendrick Lamar is a once in a lifetime performer. He transcends basically the essence and the spirit of hip hop, and they're very excited to have him on that Super Bowl stage. Now, let's talk about what I feel like Jay-Z is referring to when he's talking about, you know, why he chose Kendrick to headline the Super Bowl. My main thing is anytime we see Kendrick at the Grammys, at the BET Awards, at a music video set, when he was on stage at the Pop Out. I don't know if you guys seen it a few years ago, but when Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers came out, he had an Amazon Music streaming type movie, kind of like the Ken and Pop Out and Friends, but it was Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers in Paris. And when you watch that, you can tell that he writes these records not only with the intent of creating videos and visuals from, but he writes these records with the intent of performing them. And not only performing them, he's almost giving you a full play production. That, I feel like that's what separates Kendrick Lamar's live performances from a lot of other people's live performances. In a sense, it's almost the type of performances he gives with the dancers, the way that he dances on stage, the way that he has the fire come out and all these trippy effects and all the outfits and the people speaking on the loud screen and all the advertisements that's going on. He's very, very intentional about his performance, especially when it comes to those big stages. I mean, if we look back at any Grammy performance Kendrick has done, it has been a not only a amazing performance, but it has always been a statement. There's always been a message behind it. There's always been some type of powerful, controversial example made within his music. There's always a giant statement. So with people being upset that Kendrick was chose to do the Super Bowl, I think that people are more so upset that because of the Drake and the Lil Wayne, or I'm sorry, because of the Kendrick Lamar and the Drake Aubrey Graham brief. Because of their beef, I feel like people on the other side, let's say the Drake fan side, feel like if it wasn't for Drake, if it wasn't for this beef, Kendrick wouldn't have these types of opportunities. But let's keep it real. Kendrick has had a lot of these giant opportunities, especially with a big look. It's only now where he owns his own company and he's able to have more freedom as far as creative control, because now he's not on Top Dog Entertainment. And if you don't know what Top Dog Entertainment is, that's a label that consists of J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, SZA, Isaiah Rashad, Absol, all the original TDE members, and Kendrick was originally a part of this label. Back in 2020, Kendrick separated himself from this label after his final album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. If you don't know, that's a double album, incredible album. He separated himself, created his own company called PG Lang. Now, with PG Lang, Kendrick does have a distribution deal with Warner or UMG. It's UMG, I believe, and that's Universal Music Group. So he has a distribution deal, but he does have ownership of his company, and he has ownership of his IP, which is intellectual property. So now that he has these opportunities to do things like the pop-up, where he can stream a live show, and he can kind of have real creative control of what he's allowed to do on his own terms, to where he could play a song like Not Like Us 8 times back to back. He could do things like the Grammys and stand on top of the police car with it on fire. And the following year, you're going to have CNN talking about, we don't like that. We don't like that. And then he goes and flips it for the following album. He's always a very statement-driven artist. So I want you guys to keep that in mind when it comes to what happens next. Now, I got a couple of questions for you guys with this being said. Now, number one, do you guys feel like Lil Wayne should have been offered to headline the Super Bowl before Kendrick Lamar? If so, why? Do you feel like Lil Wayne's a better performer? Do you feel like it's just owed to him because of the work that he's put in and that's his hometown? Also, I want to know, what songs do you guys think that Kendrick Lamar is going to come out to at the Super Bowl? Is he going to perform like that? Is he going to drop the infamous wah, 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 wah? Is he? I don't know. We're going to have to just wait, and we're going to have to see. You know what I'm saying? And then last but not least, I want to ask you guys this. Do you feel like it's a super hater move on Jay-Z's part to not have Lil Wayne at the Super Bowl? And let me ask you one more question. What does it mean if Kendrick Lamar brings out Lil Wayne to the Super Bowl? They don't even have to perform a song. What if Lil Wayne just came out and performed a Millie and Fireman? I want to know. I want to know what you guys think. What's going to happen next? Is Kendrick Lamar going to drop an album before the Super Bowl? I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Until then, you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. And I'm going to be back with more music topics very, very soon. Y'all have a great night.